You want a dream life. You want to retire your parents. You want to retire your entire family, be financially free, travel where you want, when you want. But are your actions aligned with the dream life that you are dreaming of? Let's be honest. Most people are stuck in either hustling blindly or manifesting without taking any kind of action. In this live stream, I'm going to talk about not working hard or working smart or whatever. I will talk about doing the right things from the right state. And I will explain exactly what it means in just a minute. So we're not going to talk about working hard. We're going to talk about doing the right things from the right state of mind. There are three types of dreamers. One is the workaholic, the hustler zombie, who is working hard without having any kind of vision or any kind of clarity exactly where they're going. They just think if they work hard enough, money will come to them and they will create their dream life and they will have a breakthrough all of a sudden. But you can't build success if you don't have clarity and vision. How are you gonna go to a certain place if you don't know where you're going? I'm talking about a concept in my course. I called it GPS of success. And the reason why I called it like that is because it resonates perfectly when we compare it with an analogy of you going from destination A to destination B. So let's say today we are in Limassol, or at least I'm in Limassol, and I wanted to go to the Blue Lagoon in Paphos. If I didn't know that I'm going to the Blue Lagoon in Paphos, how am I going to get there? I'm not going to get there. If I'm just going somewhere, if I just say I'm going to Cyprus, where am I going? I have to be specific. Because if I just say I'm going to Cyprus, it can mean that I'm just going to the airport. So if I want to reach a certain thing, I have to be specific about the place that I want to reach and how I want it to look like when it comes to dreams. So this is one type of dreamers, the hustlers that think that success will just come by them working hard and jumping from one project to another, having fear of missing out about everything possible in their lives, and they're just jumping into everything that they hear and saying yes to every single project without thinking and asking themselves, is it aligned with me? Is it something that is aligned with my life purpose? Is it something that I truly want to do? Or is it something that I see myself doing for the next 5-10 years? Because many people are also losing motivation here. They jump into one thing, it's not aligned with them, and they feel like, I don't really feel good about this. I've been trying for some time. Nothing is really working. It's not interesting. When you try to do things just for money, you're never gonna really get to a point where you're gonna be happy and satisfied. You have to have a purpose that will lead you and that will give you clarity so that you can have a clear roadmap on how to reach from point A to point B being your dream life. Then the second type of dreamers are the spiritual people that are obsessed with spirituality. And those are people that think that God or the universe will just send them things if they pray long enough. And without taking any action. They are just sitting and dreaming, wishful thinking. That's wishful thinking. They say that they're manifesting. They have such a strong belief that higher power will be the one that will resolve everything in their lives without actually understanding how we communicate with the higher power. We communicate with the higher power through our thoughts, feelings, and actions. You have to show to the universe that you want whatever you desire, that you're going for it. And you have to send a signal, a frequency that will tell the universe, I'm ready for the next level. We will talk about this later. But second type of dreamers, as I said, are people obsessed with spirituality or religion, and people that are thinking that if they pray enough or if they dream enough, they will get the things that they want, and that things are gonna just fall in place magically without them moving a finger. And then the third type is the overthinker. And the overthinker is a person who is always waiting for the perfect moment. The person that is always thinking that they just have to fix one more thing before they get started, or wait for things to settle down before they get started. And with that, they're just finding excuses all the time, and not without taking any action. Nothing is moving forward. Today is one excuse, tomorrow will be another excuse, the day after will be third excuse. So they're just, instead of spending time on doing something during the 5 minutes while they're overthinking, they're just overthinking and then thinking even more to make it even more complicated and to feel even more overwhelmed, so that they will dig like a deeper hole instead of getting out of the hole that they have already put themselves into. So all these three types of dreamers are just dreaming. They cannot make their dreams a reality. And they will forever be stuck unless they understand that they have to combine a few things in order to be able to get their desired reality. So before you take any kind of action, you need a direction. So before you start driving to the desired destination, to the desired location, you have to have the direction. You have to have something that will show you the path in order for you to get to this point, like GPS nowadays. So in the course, I'm talking about GPS, and the G stands for growth mindset, P stands for perspective, and S stands for strategy. I'm not going to go deep into this model that I have, that I'm talking about and using in the course, but I will go through through overall principles that you have to think about, and the things that you have to change in order to be able to start creating your reality already from today. And if you want to dive deeper, of course, you're welcome to join the course. Let me take a sip of vitamin C. Now it's vitamin C because I've been on the sun all day. I've been at the Blue Lagoon in Paphos, and it was so incredible. It was so beautiful. But the sun killed me. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I see familiar people here. Hey, Alex. Hey, Miguel. Oh, Sidra is here as well. So cool to see you. So, whoops. What happened? I'm always using, like here I have to use adapters, and they're not very, they're a little bit tricky. Okay, so let's continue. So what did I say? So before we take action, we need a direction. If you want to reach, let's say, hit a specific goal, you have to know exactly what you are aiming for. So, as I said, you're not saying I'm going to Cyprus. You know exactly where you're going in Cyprus. You're not saying You cannot say, I just want to make more money. You have to know the specific number that you are aiming for in order to be able to break down a plan that will help you to get there. Because if you just say, I want more money, what is more money? More money can be $5,000, it can be $50,000, it can be 5 million, it can be 500 million. So more is not specific, it's too general. In order for you to be able to create a clear vision and you cannot move forward without a vision, you're gonna just be the first type of dreamer that I mentioned. The person who is working hard but not getting anywhere because they don't have any vision, any clarity. They are just blindly working, and they're in survival mode all the time because they are feeling so overwhelmed. So in order for you to be able to start moving forward, you have to first create a clear vision and you have to set a specific goal. And don't set 10 goals at once. We are first starting with one because the aim of this video is to give you the steps to change the most important thing that you want to change currently in your life in less than 12 months. And believe me, it's possible. People that are looking at my lifestyle now, which I'm not showing much, if I'm showing everything, I'm going to attract even more people. But I see reactions from people saying, oh, you're traveling all the time. Oh, you're doing this, you're doing that. My life changed completely in a very short period of time. It's not that it changed because magically something happened. I was first the person that I described before, the hustler without a vision. I had a vision, but a blurry one. It was not clear. I lacked clarity. So I was working hard. I was working super hard, like crazy, but I didn't have clear, specific vision, and I wasn't taking actions that were aligned with my purpose and with my goal. So in order for us to make the dream reality to really happen, we have to take aligned, messy, not perfect. It can be an imperfect action, but we have to take an action that is aligned with our purpose, because we want to do the thing that we want to pursue for the rest of our lives. We're not gonna go for something that we hate just because of the money. Because I said, you're not gonna be long time in the game if you just do things for money and you don't have a real reason, real why behind your actions. So your actions should be aligned. So as I said, most people just say, I just want more money, I just want more love, I just want more this, that. You have to be specific, because if you're not specific, it's gonna be blurry. You're not gonna see the path clearly. So you have to have 100% clarity. You have to have 100% clear picture of where you're going. You have to know the specific coordinates of the location where is your final destination. Second thing is belief. You have to develop a belief. You have to believe in yourself that you can get there. And how do you build this belief? You build this belief by taking action, building confidence, and improving. So once we clear the vision, we make a plan. Once we make this plan, we start taking action. Once we start taking action, we're gonna suck at the beginning. I talked about confidence in the previous videos. If you haven't checked it out, you can look for it, or I can link it in the description. So once we start building confidence and we start getting momentum, we just collect data, we adjust, and we improve. Once we get the momentum, and with the action that we're taking, of course, we're working on our beliefs. Why? Because beliefs are the ones that are shaping our identity. And unless we change our beliefs, we cannot change our identity. If we don't change our identity, we're not going to create a different life from the one that we currently have. So your current beliefs are defining your current actions. You have to change your beliefs in order to change your actions. And last thing is to have this clarity and to have this belief all the time and execute with full clarity and full alignment. That's how you can make your dream reality become reality in the physical world in less than 12 months or less than 6 months. Like, it can happen so quickly once you understand the formula that I'm gonna finalize at the end of this stream. I'm happy that you're watching all the videos. So, can you give any tips on how to push yourself forward when it seems like you're stuck? That's exactly what I'm doing. In almost every single video that I'm making, I'm talking about this topic. So you should first identify what is keeping you stuck. And once you identify what is keeping you stuck, you have to implement some of the advices that I'm giving. So let me continue. I highly recommend you, while you're watching the streams, don't just listen, but take notes. So once you start taking notes, you will be able to connect the things that I'm talking about easily. Because if you listen to me now, and I mention confidence, I mentioned manifestation, I mentioned different things, once you start understanding them properly, you will see the connection between everything that I'm talking about. So, where did I stop? Action. I think I was talking about taking action, and that's what we were talking about. So, action is what will help you to collect data. So first vision, then action. With action, you collect data, and with the data, you adjust, you improve, you take more action. With that, you're building a momentum. Once you start building momentum, what do? You're giving evidence to your brain to start integrating the belief to become stronger that you are the version that deserves this reality that you are dreaming about. So once you start making this belief stronger and reinforcing the belief, we are reinforcing beliefs in our mind through repetition. So the more that you repeat an action that is aligned with your future reality, the more that you're reinforcing this belief, and the faster you will move forward. This is gonna also give you clarity to make faster, to become a faster decision maker. Why? Because once you get clarity, you're gonna start listening to your intuition, and your intuition will guide you to know exactly when something is a yes and when something is a no. And your decision making will be way faster because it's gonna come from your intuition. It's not gonna come from all the external noises and voices that you're hearing that are stopping you. You've built clarity and you know exactly where you're going. And the answer, you're gonna just ask yourself the question, is this aligned with my future self? Would my future self do the things that I'm doing today? Would they question the things that I'm questioning today? Would they have the people that I have today around me? And whatever the answer is to this question, if the future self is not going to do it, you should not do it as well. If the future self would do it, you should go for it 100% without thinking a second. No overthinking. There is no need of overthinking. The overthinking is going to create more problems for you instead of solving anything. Overthinking always creates more problems. And you are when you say I don't have time, how come you have time to overthink, but you don't have time to take action? If you overthink, this means that you have plenty of time. This means that you have plenty of time if you're overthinking. Because if you are taking action, if your schedule is filled with activities, you're not going to have time to overthink. And how is your schedule going to be filled with activities? Once you have the vision, you create a plan. This is the strategy that I'm talking about in the course. When you create this plan, you're not going to have time, you're not going to have in your schedule time for overthinking. This is not going to be in your schedule. So with that, you're not going to overthink, and you're not going to just be stuck in your survival mode and in the state where you are at the moment. I'm a little bit tired today. The sun definitely killed me. I didn't feel it until I got back, but now I can really feel it. And I want to go to the gym after the stream. I'll make it. Another mistake that people do is that they don't measure what they do. So I'm talking about this again in the course. When you go to the gym, you don't go and jump from one machine to another without any plan. You have a plan and you are measuring the weights. You're not going from lifting 20 kilos to lifting 120. You measure, you see how much you can handle, and you put sustainable amount of weight that you can handle that will help you to grow your muscles, to build strength in order to be able to move forward. So you don't push at once, you add gradually while you are becoming stronger. That's why measuring is important, or tracking. So if you're starting a business, if a business is the thing that you want to start but you're stuck with, you should measure. You should sit with yourself once a week and ask yourself questions to be able to reflect on the things that have been going well, things that you have to adjust, things that feel right or wrong. Because if you don't measure, if you don't track things, you're leaving things on hope. You're just blind. You're gonna end up being the blind workaholic that will just grind and then lose motivation and give up, or just feel bad about themselves and lose confidence because they will start skipping the things that they're supposed to do. So, and also, if you don't track, if you don't measure, you're not going to be able to adjust and manage anything. So, and if you don't adjust and manage, you're not going to be able to improve. So that's why another thing that we have to think about is tracking, reflecting, measuring, however you want to call it. Then another thing is, I know that many people are doing things because they want to prove something to other people. And this was me before. I'm talking about other people, but I'm also talking about my past self. And that's why I can teach these topics so well, because most of the things that I'm talking about my previous self. So I really know how you are feeling. I really know what you're thinking. I really know what you're going through, because I'm talking to my past self. So think of me like the way how I'm moving forward now is I'm letting my future self to guide me. So I'm guiding you by giving advices to my past self, to the past self that was stuck, that was full of anxiety, that was all the time in survival mode, stressing over everything, people pleasing, not saying no to people because she was afraid to disappoint someone, because she thought that she's not a good person if she says no, if she's not allowed to disappoint people, because if she gets someone disappointed, she's not a good person. Yes, I was operating from such kind of beliefs. And the thing is, those are things that we don't choose ourselves. Those are things that are given to us when we have no choice. So those are things that have been absorbed by your subconscious mind when you didn't have an analytical brain that was developed to question the things that were given to you, the information, the resources that were given to you. So, yeah, doing things to prove something to someone else is the worst thing that you can do, because this is just showing a belief that I'm not good enough. And this belief is not going to create the desired reality. Because if you're not good enough, why would the universe, why would God, whatever you believe in, send you opportunities if you're not good enough? You have to have the belief that you are already this future self, already the person that is good and can handle it all, in order for you to receive the opportunities. So if you're trying to prove something to others, this is just you telling to your brain, I'm not good, I think that I'm not good enough, so I have to prove myself. So if you're doing something to prove yourself to others, just stop. Don't do it. You're gonna just sabotage yourself and put yourself in a worse situation. The goal is not to let me think of how to frame it right. The goal is to become the real you. The goal is to become a person that has found their purpose, found their why, and you are doing something that gives you joy, that you truly care about. Once you find this thing, you're gonna act despite feeling fearful, because no one is fearless at the beginning. You have to take action when you are fearful in order to build courage, in order to overcome the fear. But once you define your strong purpose, your strong why, that's when you're gonna do no matter what. So let's say you love your life, and someone is coming and threatening your life and saying, I'm gonna kill you if you don't do this. You would do whatever it takes to survive, isn't it? So why don't you do whatever it takes for what you want to achieve? If you are not ready to do whatever it takes for creating your desired reality, this means that you are not creating a reality based on your vision and your imagination, but based on what you want to prove or show to other people around you. Or, in other words, the ego, the picture that you want to present in front of others, not the true real you that you're hiding inside. So when you connect with yourself, when you know your clear vision, you're not going to feel any type of doubt. You're not going to feel any type of... your body will tell you that the thing that you're doing is the right thing that you want to go for. And how is your body telling you that it's the right thing? If the thing that you want to do, if the thing that you want to achieve is something that excites you so much, it brings you so much joy, then, or it doesn't have to be excitement. For me, it's excitement. For you, it might be just inner peace. It might be just peace. Once you find the thing that you love, that is truly on your heart, that is your purpose, then you're gonna feel it, you're gonna know. But you cannot connect with yourself, you cannot create this vision without being in creation mode, without getting out of this survival mode, without taking a step back, slowing down, and reflecting and asking yourself powerful questions. I'm a coach. Some people come to me and they think that I just have to tell them, do this, this, and this. But that's not the job of a coach. The job of a coach is, while you're sharing information with me, I identify your blind spots, I identify your limiting beliefs, and I'm not telling you, hey, your limiting belief is this. You should do this. Why? Because I'm not going to help you to get somewhere by me just throwing it at your face information. I have to make you think and go deeper so that you can create this clarity. You can understand by yourself what are the limiting beliefs, what is keeping you stuck, and then I can tell you how to shift it and reframe it. But I can't tell you, today you do this, tomorrow you do that, Wednesday you do this. No. The job of a coach is to help you overcome, to help you become aware of things that you are unaware of, and to help you to overcome these blocks faster. Because if you don't have clarity, if you're not aware, you're not getting anywhere. Another thing is people that are, let's say, stuck in the spiritual mode. I am a spiritual person, but I know that spirituality on its own is not enough. It was not enough for me to create the life that I am living, that I'm so grateful for, that I love. You have to align everything in order to be able to create this life. People that are only spiritual and they have such a strong belief, thinking that God, Krishna, Allah, universe, whatever you believe in, will just send things to them out of nowhere, are not going to get anywhere. Because they're going to be just sitting there and waiting, hoping for something. But this is, for me, wishful thinking. You just sit and wish for things to come. With that, you don't even communicate with the higher power when you wish for things. Because once you understand how quantum physics and the universal intelligence works, you're going to understand that wishing is not the way forward. You can't wish your way forward. So the ones that are in the stuck in spiritual mode are usually people that allow laziness to take over. And why is laziness taking over? Most likely because they haven't found the right thing. They haven't explored enough. They don't have enough curiosity to try different things in order to find the right thing that will help them to kind of like move forward and push themselves. Because another example that I can tell you is I wasn't into weightlifting before. And I was doing yoga, body balance, which is a combination of yoga, tai chi, and Pilates for more than 12 years. And my walks have been my favorite since I know about myself. I always loved walking and not that much running. I do like fast walking more than running, but this is something that I've been doing since I know about myself. But I was doing yoga, body balance for more than 12, 13 years. How did I didn't feel that weightlifting is something appealing. I didn't feel like it's something that I wanted to do. But once I understood the health benefits of weightlifting, of building muscle mass and bone density, for me, it was a no-brainer to sit at home and spend this hour or two that I'm supposed to spend in the gym, sitting and scrolling on social media, or doing something that is less important, that is not contributing to my well-being. So I know that my well-being is most important for me to be able to have clarity, to take right decisions, to be focused, to execute on everything that I want to execute. So whatever it takes for me to be healthy, I'll do it. No matter how hard it is, no matter how disgusting something might be, I'm going to do whatever it takes to be healthy and to take care of myself. So once I understood all the health benefits of weightlifting, what did I do? I didn't wait a second. I immediately contacted a personal trainer and I asked him to push me hard. And I hired a personal trainer that I knew will set super high standards for me. Now, we've been traveling with work, I also traveled by myself. So I have been changing so many countries in a short period of time, changing locations, and it took always extra effort for me to find the gym. And with all the plans and schedules and podcasts and people that I was meeting, it was extra hard to keep myself disciplined to stick to my workout. But my why is stronger than anything. And even though I've traveled to so many countries, changed so many places, I always found time to do my workout. And I didn't remove a single exercise from my workouts. Exactly as my plan is, I've been following the plan. Because I know that this plan is the plan that is gonna keep me moving forward, or building stronger body, stronger muscles, and more bone density. So in the past few months, while I've been traveling all the time, I haven't had a week where I've exercised less than 3 times. I only had 2 weeks or 1 week where I exercised 3 times, 2 weeks where I exercised 4 times, and majority of the weeks I've been exercising 6 times per week. And my workouts are quite long because I'm doing everything the right way. So I'm spending about 2 hours in the gym. In the Dominican Republic, I was spending 4 hours in the gym because I was doing 2 hours of dancing. This was my cardio. So what kept me so disciplined? The people that were traveling with me, they were like, wow, Anna, we are impressed with the discipline that you have with your workouts. Because we would be out on a Saturday night eating something delicious, having fun, and I'm going to be exhausted after a whole day of either recording or going to different places, doing different things. I would come back at midnight and I'm going to go to the gym. No matter if it's midnight, no matter if it's 2 a.m., my workout will be done no matter what. So what is important? It's important to find the strong why. When I first talked to a person when I shared actually that I wanted to start with weightlifting with one person, this person mentioned something in the terms of oh, you want to become more sexy? And I'm like, no, it's not about appearance. I know that more people are going to the gym to be more sexy, to have a six-pack, to have a bigger butt or whatever. For me, this is never going to be a stronger enough reason. Why? Because I'm going to become a mom in a couple of years from now. It's not going to be soon for sure, but in a few years. So for me, it's not going to be a strong enough motivation to push myself hard enough just to look in a certain way when I know that with the pregnancy it's not gonna, of course, just the results will disappear, but I will be back many steps. So if I do it for appearance, I'm not doing it for myself, I'm doing it for others. And I don't want to do anything for others. Whatever I do, I want to do it for myself. And I said, no, I'm more than happy with the way that I look. I love my body. I love myself. I'm doing this for my health. I'm doing this because I know that I'm doing this for my future self. Because right now, I don't need bone density. I don't need muscles. I'm young. I can run. I can do a bunch of things. But when I'm going to be 50, 60 years old, with the amount of time that I'm spending in front of a computer, in the flights, in the car, I'm not going to be able to walk. I'm not going to be able to do anything on my own. So the time that I'm spending today in the gym is not just helping me to execute everything properly today. It's something that I'm doing for my future self so that I can live a longer, happier, more fulfilled life. Because nowadays, if we look at majority of people, most of them at 50 have bunch of diseases. They have bunch of health issues and problems. Why? Because they're not taking care of themselves. and they're in survival mode. Not a surprise. So, and let me also talk about the third person that is overthinking. I actually talked about it already, but overthinkers are overthinking because they have too much time. I can guarantee you, if your schedule is full with activities that are aligned with your future self, once your vision has been created, once you can imagine yourself how you want to live your life, you're not going to have time for overthinking. Overthinking comes just from you having too much time. Because if you, let's say, if you're overthinking, why don't you sit, take a journal, and start questioning yourself the things that you're overthinking about? This is the first stage of creating clarity and creating vision. Taking a pen and paper, as simple as that, and sitting and writing, okay, what am I overthinking? This. Why do I believe this? What is the opposite of this belief? What should I shift from the current belief to make it to the opposite so that I can move forward, because I see that this current belief is keeping me stuck? It's super simple. So what do you have to do? Dream, vision, imagine. So the dream is the image that you create in your mind. Imagination. As Einstein says, imagination is the limit. This is a quote that has been leading me for all my life. So we cannot create what we can't imagine. First, dream, make the image, create the imagination, visualize it, believe, create the belief through aligned action, and then just take action, collect data, adjust, and repeat. With that, you are building confidence, you're reinforcing this new belief, and you are moving forward, and you are sending also signs to the universe that you are the person that is worth of the future that you were, of the desired reality that you're dreaming about. And the universe, with action, will start sending you things that are gonna help you to move forward. Miguel can also confirm about that, because he had this experience. I mean, he went through this recently. So let me summarize it. Some people don't have a clear dream. We mentioned those are the workaholics. They are just working hard, grinding blindly, and hoping that success will just come from effort, that they will have a breakthrough. Then others are just sitting, manifesting, thinking that if they vibe high enough, that the universe will magically send things to them and deliver. And both extremes and the overthinkers. But all these extremes are not gonna help you to move forward. Like, they're not gonna get you anywhere. The point is not to work hard just without clarity. The point is, yes, to work hard. You can't achieve things without taking action and working hard. But working hard doesn't mean killing yourself from work. Because if you work hard and you don't give yourself time for rest, if you don't do it in a sustainable way, the gym example that I gave you before, it's going to lead to a burnout and you are not going to get anywhere. Spirituality, on the other hand, without any kind of action and movement, wishful thinking, you are again getting nowhere. So what do you need? What is the formula to create your desired reality? It's vision with belief, with aligned action. These three things are going to create your dream reality. And in order for you to create this vision, I told you what you're supposed to do. In order for you to create the belief, I told you what you're supposed to do. And aligned action. So not any kind of action. Any kind of action belongs to the workaholics that are not willing to take a step back and reflect. Aligned action with the purpose and the mission that you have in your life. Are you thinking of doing a stream talking more about quantum physics? To be honest, like with these streams, I'm not having any kind of plan. I just talk about something that I feel motivated to talk about at this specific day. I don't know how I decided to talk about action today. I wanted to do the live stream on Friday, but I got interrupted with something, so I couldn't do it on Friday. That's why I'm doing it today. But I came up with, I think I saw something online, a post that gave me the idea to talk about the importance of not just taking action, but taking aligned action. So vision, belief, and aligned action will lead to your desired reality. But I can definitely make a stream talking about quantum physics. I would love to talk about that. Maybe I can do the next stream on quantum physics. What emotion, action do you think slows or sabotages us the most? This is a question that does not have a specific answer. It's different for every single person. So one person might be struggling with anxiety. Another person might be struggling with depression. Third person might be struggling with anger. It all comes from the childhood trauma and the childhood programming that you have. So every single person has their own, it's in their own responsibility to figure out what is the emotion and action that is stopping them or sabotaging them the most. The thing is, action comes from emotion. It's the emotion that triggers an action. So you should understand, you should pay attention on the emotions. But the thing is, you're not going to be able to pay attention to the emotions if you don't analyze the action. Because how do we build clarity? We do something that we don't feel good about, and then we start reflecting, why did I do this? And once we start reflecting, why did I do this? Then we start understanding the emotions behind the action. Once we start understanding the emotions behind the action, we start going deeper. We start asking ourselves, what is the thing that triggered me to think this way? Did something happen in my childhood that made me feel this way? So, for example, where did my belief about people pleasing came from and taking care? I grew up in a family where my parents were working all the time or just away because of different reasons. And my older sister suffered from a very severe depression, which led to my parents not having time for me and my younger sister. So I became the parent of my younger sister. I became the caretaker of her. And at the same time, when I was seeing my parents in the situation in which they were, while my sister was in this bad situation, I felt that I was the only one who had to take care of everyone. I was the only one who had to tolerate things. So I was never setting my needs first. I was always thinking of the needs of the others. And this is the environment that made me to feel and think this way. So if I'm sleepy, I was never sleeping if someone else needs something. If I'm hungry, someone might have just finished their food, but if they feel like, if someone tells me something, I'm gonna give my food to them. Like, I was never thinking of my needs first, never ever. Especially with sleep, I was sacrificing my sleep all the time, helping to everyone. And another thing was my father. I love my father because he is a huge, the way how he challenged me is what shaped me to become the person that I am today. So I'm so grateful to my father that for giving me all the challenges that he gave me, because this is what built the resilience that I've built to be able to get to where I am today. Some people say, how can you say that you're grateful for hard things that you've been through in your life? I am grateful because I know that hard things are making us strong. It's not easy. It's not light weights that are helping your muscles to grow. It's heavy weights. You have to put weights to build stronger muscles. That's how it is in life. For me, I didn't choose to have hard childhood myself. It happened to be that way, but I know that that's what shaped me to become the resilient person that I am today. And this also taught me a lesson that I have to expose myself to discomfort, to get out of my comfort zone in order to be able to grow as a person, to grow as a person, which is personal development, and to expand my mind with which I'm expanding also my possibilities and everything else in my life. Okay, I think I'm gonna start wrapping it up because I want to go to the gym. Let me see. Any other questions? Let me know in the chat if you have any last questions before I wrap up. So you don't want to be the workaholic that is just working blindly. You don't want to be the spiritual obsessed person that is just sitting and manifesting and trying to vibe high. You don't want to be the overthinker. What do you want to be? You want to find alignment between your body, mind, and soul. And just do it, as Nike says. I love this, their quote. So have the vision, have the belief, and take aligned action. That's how you create your desired reality. And as soon as you start, like the sooner you start, the better. The reason why I said on the thumbnail in less than 12 months is because once you make everything clear and you start taking aligned action, you're going to be mind blown how quickly things are going to change. So I was I'm going to be honest with you. I was working super hard, and I'm not going to say that I was just working hard and this was not helping me to improve in any way. No, I'm gonna lie if I say that, because through working hard, I got a lot of knowledge. I was never just working hard blindly, like, let's say working in a supermarket or working as a bartender, because I've been working in a supermarket, I've been working as a bartender, I've been working as a nanny, I've been working with so many different things. People think that I was all the time like I'm now. No. I've been in many people's shoes. So whenever I had such kind of jobs, I always had at least one project that was helping me to learn things that are moving me forward. That are not monotonous tasks, but is something that requires critical thinking, something that requires creativity on my end and innovation for me to be able to solve it. So for example, while I was working in a supermarket or as a bartender, I was having different other businesses as side projects. Did they work? Nope, they failed. But they taught me a lesson. All of this experience taught me so many lessons. And thanks to these lessons, I knew how to readjust and how not to do things in the future. Because while you're taking action, you are not failing, you're collecting data on what does not work in order to come to the thing that works. So once I got clarity, I was pushing. And once I crashed, I had a burnout, I crashed, which forced me to take a step back. My vision was there, but as I said, it was blurry. Once I made it clear and I started taking aligned action with the clear vision, things changed in a matter of few months. Like things changed completely in, I would say, let me think actually, from the healing, because the major shift for me was April 13th. I'm never going to forget this day. April, May, June, July. So it took around 4 months for me to completely shift my identity once I made this vision clear. And I made this vision clear on a in-person retreat or an in-person therapy that was an art therapy to connect with my inner child. Because connection with the inner child I can talk about this in another stream, but connection with your inner child will help you the most to identify your purpose. So once I cleared up my purpose, it was so easy to just push forward. Things just started flowing easily to me. Okay, enough talking, time for the gym. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you had an amazing weekend. Let me know in the comments what are the things that were useful, what were the takeaways from this video, what are the things that you're struggling with that you want me to talk about in future videos. And if you're not subscribed, I forget always to ask for subscribe and like. This is gonna just help me to reach more people. My mission is to empower and to help as many people as possible to create their desired reality, to live a joyful life. I don't want to help people just to run a business. I want to help people to run a business and do what they want and create their desired reality with joy, excitement, and fulfillment. Because what's the point of having what's the point of having a lot of money, a lot of material things, if you're empty inside? If you don't feel excitement, if you don't feel joy, if you don't feel fulfillment, if you don't feel inner peace. My goal is to create entrepreneurs, to create individuals that are living their dream reality and that are living life under their own conditions. And the way to do it is, how I can accomplish this mission is to spread the message. And by you giving me a like and subscribing to this channel, sharing the videos with people that should watch these videos, you're helping me in my mission, and I'm really grateful and thankful for that. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting me in my mission, and I'm gonna see you soon again. Sending you so much love, and I'll see you soon again. Bye-bye.